Welcome into the halls of Spidle. There's a lot of activity on campus right now. We have students coming back for the fall semester. We have families on campus moving students in. Some are here for graduation. And if you've been gone a while, you're probably saying, what is all the commotion we see on College Street? A lot of construction. And today we're talking specifically of what you see right next to the Auburn Hotel and Conference Center, diagonally from Sanford Hall. And our guest today has all the answers for us. This is Dr. Martin O'Neill. He is department head over nutrition, dietetics, and hospitality management. This is such an exciting time for us right now.
It's an exciting time for Auburn University, Kim. It's an exciting time for the College of Human Sciences, and it's an exciting time for the Department of Nutrition, Dietetics, and Hospitality Management, and in particular, the Hospitality Management program. I've been here for approximately 18 years and worked on a lot of different projects to the benefit of hospitality management, students, faculty, and alum. And I've never been a part of anything quite like this right now. So, I'm asked all the time by students about what's happening, potential, past, present, and so on. And they're always talking about the big hole in the ground, or as I like to describe it, the huge mess we've made right in the central confluence of campus. So
yes.
it's a good time, and I look forward to talking to you a little bit more about that.
Well, it's a big part in our progress because it will be so worth it. Before we talk about that, let's talk about how you got here to Auburn University, because your accent kind of gives away you're not from Alabama.
Yeah. I like to tell people I'm from a little part of East Georgia, and that's called Northern Ireland. I came here, I guess, as I said, 18 years ago. Actually, it was New Year's Eve 2002. At that point in time, I was actually on a sabbatical with Edith Cowan University in Western Australia. And the intent was to spend 2 years here, have a good time, and then return to Australia. And I never had a campus get under my skin in a very positive way as quickly in all my life. The people I was working with right then, within the unit, within the department, within the college, and then across campus generally, made it feel very much home away from home. And of course, home is Northern Ireland.
Yes.
And I spent my first 30 years in Ireland, and I guess my first position was with the University of Ulster in Northern Ireland, running a hospitality and tourism program, and then moved to Australia to Edith Cowan University, named after Australia's first lady parliamentarian, Edith Cowan, to run another hospitality program. And that's where I had my introduction to Auburn with the then program director, a gentleman by the name of Dr. Bill Kent. And Bill and I began a research track together, and I think he convinced the folks here that they ought to come and have a conversation with me when he announced his retirement. But, that just seems like yesterday. And 18 years and never a dull moment, either within this college or on this campus. It's been a phenomenal ride so far.
Well, we're so glad you're here. So let's zero in on hospitality management now. And what you said is so exciting, because what you see on College Street, it is changing the landscape of Auburn, and it's being called a game changer in the field of hospitality and the hospitality industry.
It is. I mean, I've been a part of hospitality management education my whole life, having worked in industry and then transferred into academics. And I've been fortunate to work at quite a number of institutions, some very reputable, with excellent programs. And, they all offer something. They'll be known for food, they'll be known for beverage, they'll be known for culinary, they'll be known for lodging. But this facility is going to afford us the opportunity to combine all of those in the one location. I'm fortunate to work with a gentleman across the street, as we like to refer to it. He's Dutch, and it almost makes me cough to say it, but we have a wonderful working relationship, Hans van der Eyden and I. He manages our hotel and conference center, and very quickly in our partnership, we sat around a table and started talking to the Dean, then Dean June Hinton, about how we could really make a difference at Auburn with what we were doing with then hotel and restaurant management. And this was always at the forefront of our discussion. And let me tell you, we went on quite a few wild goose chases over the years before we finally attracted a wonderful donor, Mr. Jimmy Rane, who wanted to honor his parents, Tony and Libba Rane. Thus, the center is being called the Tony and Libba Rane Culinary Science Center. Of course, it's about more than culinary. It's about the whole suite of hospitality management that we cover here at Auburn. As you know, we offer a degree. It's the only accredited, professionally and regionally accredited program in the state of Alabama, accredited with the Accreditation Commission for Programs in Hospitality Administration. and this is our second go-around with them. It's a 4-year degree in hospitality management, but then students have the option to specialize. So they will specialize in hotel and restaurant management, which was our old go-to for the program for a very long time. They have an option to specialize in event management, and then they have an option to specialize in culinary. And of course, at the backbone of all of that is a college core, which is very much focused on enhancing quality of life, and then on top of that, a business minor, which they get out of the Harvard School of Business. Coming back to it just one second, I mean, I'm a 3-time business graduate, and I've only ever, before coming to Auburn, taught hospitality management in a business school. And when I arrived here, I really didn't know what human sciences was all about. But the fundamental difference is that they are investing in people before they're investing in profits. And that's a tremendous thing. And when you take that on as a mantra within a college, it allows you to do some very, very exceptional things with faculty and also with students. And you know, I've just watched that 24/7, 365 days a year for 18 years, and it's been a tremendous journey to be a part of.
Yes. And in this Culinary Science Center, our students will have real-life, hands-on experience running a boutique hotel, helping to run that, and teaching restaurants.
Yeah,
Tell us more specifics.
So if you have a think about it, most university programs, they have a hands-on component. I mean, given the nature of our business, you have to have that. It's central.
Right.
And some of them have what we'll call simulation environments, where students are taking instruction in a simulated environment. This is very different in the sense that students are being sequentially let loose on the public at large. And that's not just the public as in the other student body, the faculty on campus. That's the Auburn community, that's the research community that may be coming in and out of campus. That's anyone that has a reason to stop off at Auburn University on a road trip to wherever. So we have a wonderful food production kitchen, which will service what will be an absolutely beautiful food service restaurant. And what we're doing is attracting Iron Chef caliber culinarians every year to set both the lunch and a dinner menu with faculty, and then to work with those faculty to supervise the production of that lunch menu, that dinner menu, for service to the public. You know, the beautiful backdrop and all of that, it's an open plan kitchen, but the backdrop is a 2-story wine room, and it's all glass enclosed, and there's a spiral staircase, and if you find your way up to the top of it, that's the backdrop to what will be our wonderful wine education center, which again is something very new for Auburn and something very new in the southeast. You move on down that building, there's what we call a battery of culinary production kitchens. So those are food training kitchens. Students will go in and practice their craft before they're let loose on the public, for want of a better term. And then we move around a corner to something that is my pride and joy, I'm going to call it. It's of great interest to me. It'll be a microbrewery on campus. And again, there'll be a teaching element to that. And then you circle the corner again, and we have a food hall, a wonderful food hall that is going to be operating, I would say, outlets at the highest level from a culinary perspective. Again, items for sale to the public at large, the university community, and so on. So we're hoping for a lot of activation in that area. You go up one floor, the Wine Education Center, Distilled Spirit Center, micro distillery, typical smart, as we call them today, easel classrooms for actual classroom engagement with students. And then you move up to the top 3 floors, and there we get into our luxury teaching hotel. Again, where sequentially students are engaged in different elements of what's going on to ensure a very positive guest visit and guest cycle during their time here on campus. Rooftop garden, living garden to feed the kitchens. There'll be a spa up there for guests. There'll be, I like to call it an old Ritz Club experience. We call it the library on the top floor, which will offer limited breakfast and heavy hors d'oeuvres for dinner. And our event students are going to activate that space on the top floor, in addition to the other spaces that we use for teaching within the building.
With an incredible view.
With an incredible view. Absolutely fantastic view, yes. So there's a lot going on across the way. Yeah.
So much. It's really hard to take it all in.
Yeah.
So I hope what you're hearing here is that even if you're not studying hospitality management or your child is not doing that, This Culinary Science Center has a lot of community and campus engagement
Oh,
involved
oh
with it.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's really four missions as we consider what we're doing across the way. There's the traditional teaching mission, which is a combination of theory and practice, as we've just described. There's a research mission. There is what I like to call an outreach and or extension mission, which is really working to support industry and industry training. And I mean, tourism being as it is in this state, there's a big need for that type of training. And then there's a community element. And you know, it's interesting you asked the question because I've been socializing this with my dean, Dr. Hubbard, all over campus for probably the last year to 18 months. And that's a question I'm asked all the time. Well, are there opportunities for us to visit, to interact? Listen, it will be the most heavily trafficked interactive space in Auburn, outside of Toomer's Corner, when we open our doors. The Heyday Market, the open green area, the restaurant, the outreach that's going on in the wine education and the distilled spirit centres, people visiting the hotel, the microbrewery, all of that is going to be absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, big part of what we're doing, big focus on all of that.
So exciting. Well, mention your department head over hospitality management, but also said nutrition and dietetics, and we would have to continue walking all the halls to get deep into those
you would.
programs, but hit briefly the growth in the nutrition program area and the opportunities there.
Well, I mean, we have a degree in hospitality management and three options. We have a degree in nutrition and we've got three options. One of those is what we refer to as our pre-health, our pre-professional program, which is nutrition science. And here we offer kids, and it's not very well known on campus, although the program has grown and grown and grown under the leadership of Dr. Jagan Nathan, who works with me as our graduate programs officer, and then the committee he's a part of here, the pre-professional committee here on campus. You know, we're attracting students who want to go into dental school, we're attracting students who want to go to medical school, we're attracting students who want to go on to be PAs, we are attracting students who want to be occupational therapy students, we're occupational health and therapy students, and then pharmacy. We have a wonderful, what we call 4+3 relationship right now with pharmacy, which allows you to double degree at the other end of that. And get out a year sooner than you normally would, which is great. So that's nutrition science. Outside of that, we've got probably the gold standard in nutrition and dietetics as an option on campus here in the country. Annually, I mean, there are two measures that we're looking at here. We're looking at students interning upon completion of their degree. There's been a trend in the United States over the last decade and a half. The number of places are shrinking, the number of students are increasing. And we regularly get 100% match on that program. And then on the other side of that, the registered dietitian registration examination. We're in the very high 90s every single year first time, and then on second time, 100% just about every year. And those guys are moving into nutrition education, offering nutritional advice, informed nutritional advice from informed professionals in the health community. And then for those that don't come out on the other side of what we call the nutrition and dietetics pre-professional program, or pre-dietetics, we have nutrition and wellness. So these are kids that will go on to work in the health sphere, they can work in the recreation sphere, they can work in the hospitality sphere, again, offering people advice on wellness programs. And they, again, place very, very well. Undergraduate-wise, I mean, we have probably about, I'd say about 220 in hospitality right now, with a goal to grow to about maybe 500 and cap out. And at the undergraduate level within nutrition science, I think across all options, about 256 students right now, with a view to growing somewhere close to about 400, 425.
So a lot of opportunities, and a lot of people don't realize everything in the College of Human Sciences. We've discussed your area with nutrition, dietetics, and hospitality management, of course, interior design, apparel design and merchandising, human development and family science. You also have your brewing science, and we have global studies and philanthropy and nonprofit. I think I got it all. I'm not sure because we're constantly
quite a basket of eggs.
Growing. So a lot of opportunity, a lot of excitement as you watch that Culinary Science Center go up. That's coming in the fall of 22. All this other ready for you right now. So people can tell, even in this brief conversation with you, you're an upbeat person, and I love that. So share some advice. How do we hold on to this excitement and stay hopeful in this unusual season.
Yeah, I mean, it's challenging. I've never come across anything quite like this, even after 30 years in Northern Ireland during what we call the Troubles. I mean, you can, get out of bed someday and get visited by some very bleak days, but nothing quite like this. But, what I say to people every day is just get out of bed with a smile on your face. Have a look in the mirror and ask what motivates me. And when you get an answer to that, go out and do it. What we're doing here, we work in an industry and we work in a profession, I guess, the health profession and then the hospitality industry. And they're both at the forefront, interestingly, of what's going on with all of this. Hospitality right now probably been the hardest hit if you're to consider industries and the negative effect. A lot of people losing jobs, a lot of businesses on Main Street probably never going to return to Main Street. But, I keep saying to the students in particular, your placement may have changed a little bit. The timing on placement may have changed a little bit, but you're in an industry where people always want to travel. They may not be traveling internationally. What's good for the US economy is they're traveling more if they're traveling at all nationally. That's good for your balance of payments, as it were, right here. There's always a demand for people in our industry, whether it be food related, accommodation related, entertainment related, but we need to take our time and we need to be thoughtful about how we do what we do and how we integrate with the public. Obviously, social distancing is always going to be a big part of that, and the welfare of our traveling public has to be a big part of it, as well as our personal welfare. On the other side, we've got our health professionals, and these are guys who are at the very front line every day dealing with people, whether it be students in an educational sense, whether it be members of the public in a practicum sense, who are making decisions and offering advice that are going to save people's lives. So these are two areas where people are absolutely always going to be needed.
Right.
So it's a good time to be in either area, to be perfectly honest. And even, when times are dark, and there have been a lot of very dark times over recent decades. I go back to 9/11, I go back to the 2008 recession. We're the first to fall, but we're always the first to rebound.
Yeah.
And that will happen. I saw that last week. I made a visit to the beach last week for a little bit of what we call R&R. And I've seen the beaches busy. I wasn't expecting them to be as busy, but boy, they were busy last week. And it seemed like everybody was doing things properly. So I felt good about it.
Good. So yes, be resilient, be hopeful.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we're excited to be a part of this time too.
My pleasure.
Thanks for taking the time. And thanks to all of you for taking the time to tune in again to the Halls of Spidle. If you have any questions about what you just heard in this segment, reach out to Dr. O'Neill on the email address you see right here on your screen. And we'll see you next month as we continue talking to the people taking life-changing steps, improving quality of life for all, and changing the world. Take care.